Hey folks, here today wrapping up with Shadowverse. I've completed the expert level campaign here. I'm going to replay the last mission. Mission 12 here is actually just the credits scene, so mission 11. And talk about the deck as I go, and then talk about how the deck I'm playing now came about, and then kind of just wrap everything up. So let's just jump into it. I'm playing a Bloodcraft deck here, and specifically this is a tribal bats deck. So it's a hyper aggressive deck with a bunch of synergies that are based around the bat token type. I'm going to be playing both creatures and spells that care about how many bats I have in play. And then other than that, it's just linear aggro, trying to get my opponent dead as fast as possible. This is a deck that really wants to be on the play, so let's hope we go first. We don't. We go second. But that shouldn't be too much trouble for us. Okay, so no bats in this hand actually, but it's a perfectly respectable opener, so we'll keep it. Opponent is first. I'm guessing they probably don't have a 1-drop, but we do. They're going to talk for a little bit. Okay. So as soon as we get through our opponent's turn here, let's talk about what's in our hand. Awesome. Okay, so this turn we're going to play Cursebrand Vampire. This is a 1-2. 1-2 is really the best rate you can get on a 1-drop. I played 8 1-drops in the deck, and they're all 1-2s. Cursebrand Vampire's specific thing is that she gets +1/+1 if Vengeance is active for me, which means if I'm below 10 life. Obviously, I'm nowhere near that right now, but it makes her a decent draw in the late game as well as in the early, so we're just going to play her out. And then I've got a bunch of options for next turn. Razor Claw, which is a burn spell that can either hit an opponent's creature or the opponent directly. Baphomet, which is a card advantage spell. He comes in as a 2/1 for 2, which is perfectly respectable, but then it goes and finds another Bloodcraft follower from my deck. And most importantly, my gold card here is Vania Vampire Princess. And she's got tribal synergies. Whenever an allied forest bat comes into play, deal 1 damage to the enemy leader. So we are going to try to get Vania into play and then turn that into a lot of damage very quickly. The opponent over there is on a resonance deck, so they're going to be stronger on turns where they have an even number of cards in their deck. So next turn will be one of their strong turns. Okay, this is all well and good here. What are we going to do? I think we're going to hit my opponent for 1 and then play the Baphomet. We're not playing Vania yet because we have no ways to make vampires and no ways to evolve her. Another Cursebrand, so I'm going to have plenty to do next turn. We'll see what's coming from my opponent. Obviously, we're least excited about cards with Ward or cards that gain my opponent fresh points of defense. This thing's a little annoying too. It's a 3/1. It has Rush in the circumstance where my opponent has an even number of cards in their deck as they did last turn. So what are we going to do here? I think our play is just going to be the Bloodwolf and the Goblin. The Bloodwolf can directly attack my opponent. Now the Goblin is probably going to get a point in next turn. My opponent will most likely use the 3/1 to trade with the Wolf rather than with the Goblin, obviously minimizing my amount of attacking points. But we should still be in reasonable position here. Okay, this is annoying. This is one of those cards that gains my opponent's points of defense. And it's also a tougher one for us to kill, because if either my creatures attacks it, its Clash ability actually was going to kill my creatures before they can deal damage to it. So this is annoying. We can't kill it with our Razor Claw because it has 4 points of toughness. So we're going to have to evolve to kill it. So how best to go about doing that? I believe that we're just going to go like this. We're going to go Vania. We're probably not going to end up getting any good bonuses off Vania this game, but that's okay. Ambling Wraith. Curse Brand, evolve Vania, kill the 1/4. That's going to put Vania down to 1 point of toughness, which is unfortunate. Then we're going to swing in for 3 here and pass things along. Now my opponent can probably kill 2, if not 3 of my creatures here, but they are going to lose their 3/1 in that process. It looks like they're only going to be able to kill 2, and that's going to require an evolution point out of them, so we're fine with that. We're going to Dance of Death their evolved creature. Now there's the kill on Vania. Perfect, a couple Dance of Deaths here. Okay, so yeah, our play is pretty straightforward. We will kill the 4/2 before it can deal too much damage to us. We're going to evolve one of our guys, it really doesn't matter which. And we're going to whack our opponent here for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The spells in our hand right now represent a collective 5 points of damage, so we should think about our opponent as being at 3 life, because we only need to find 3 more points. And either of our 1/2s after evolving are going to be able to deliver that kind of damage. So if my opponent is just playing this and killing 2 of my guys, which it looks like his plan is, then we're actually golden here. Cool. Okay, can we kill with Snarling Chains this turn? That's an open question. Probably not. That doesn't mean we don't want to use it, though. Nope, we're going to go like this. We're going to evolve our Goblin. We're going to whack our opponent. We're going to use Dance of Death to kill the 6/4, take our opponent down to 3, which means that next turn our Razor Claw is lethal. So our opponent now has to do a bunch of things if they want to survive. They have to gain life, they have to kill the Goblin without any evolution points, and they have to actually gain more than 1 life because the Snarling Chains also provides a point of damage. The General doesn't do anything. Cool. So this is over. It's actually, we have the ability to deal 7 damage to our opponent here. They only have 3 life. So it's done without too much problem on our end. So I didn't even hit the main synergies of this deck. I didn't play any bats. But I hope you can see that even against this is supposed to be the hardest mission in the entire campaign, and I really didn't have too much trouble here. So this is the deck that I would use to start to climb the unlimited ladder if I was going to continue to really play this game a lot. And I'm not, and that's not a judgment of the game. It's just that I have a lot to play, and once we're in the grindy stage of the game, if I think I've got it pretty much figured out, then I don't really have a lot of motivation to keep on playing through. But it was a very solid experience getting here. So what happened is I played up through the full set of campaigns, and when I finished, I had 20 arena tickets and about 2,000 gold, or 2,000 rupees. So I played arenas until I felt pretty comfortable with the amount of gold I had, and then I went and I spent all of my rupees on Wonderland packs. So in the buy cards thing, I bought a bunch of packs, liquefied all the legendaries I got out of there, as well as all the Swordcraft cards, because I decided that I just don't care at all about Swordcraft. And with that, I was able to put together this meta deck, this Bloodcraft Bats deck, that is tier 1 from all my research. It's good enough to compete at the Grandmaster level on the ladder, and it was buildable after I finished the single player campaign, which only took me about a week. So that's great. I mean, I think that the fact that I can get to a tier 1 deck that quickly is really exciting. Now, it is in the unlimited format. So if we go to the possible ranked play, and I haven't played a single game yet, You can play either in the rotation format or the unlimited format. The rotation format is the standard format, and it's where I think the toughest competition would be. Unlimited is the eternal format, and it's obviously kind of more played out. There wasn't a way to start in rotation after finishing the single player campaign. I couldn't just jump right in. I'm going to have to grind out unlimited for a bit until I can build a meta rotation deck. But that's okay. I think that's probably kind of ideal. It's not that different from Magic, where players often find they come in to Magic in Modern and then move to Standard as they get a little bit more serious. But yeah, either way, I do have this tier 1 deck that I can play in an unlimited match. I'm guessing if I take it into a game against a human player here, and this is going to be the first time that I played a human outside of the arenas, it's going to be pretty difficult for them to keep up. I'm guessing that, especially at the low side of the ladder, a lot of people are just coming in with the default decks that they get from playing the main campaign. And this is going to feel a little unfair. And I think I would have to grind out for 3 or 4 days playing matches like that until I reached the rank where this deck was appropriate. But hey, we'll give it a shot. So yeah, this person looks like they've only played 1 or 2 matches. I don't think many people would take the route I did, which is fully going through the this full campaign before trying to play on the PvP. But after playing a lot of digital card games, that's kind of how I've settled on doing things. Anyway, let's give this a shot. Opponent over there on Shadowcraft. Shadowcraft is a pretty good matchup for this deck. They're just a little bit too slow to kind of keep up with us because they're spending most of their early turns trying to build Necromancy. They don't have a lot of ward creatures, and a lot of their creatures can't attack into me very well. So we've got a lead here with the Goblin. Next turn, we might have Snarling Chains, we might have Blood Wolf, depends what my opponent does. If they have no play, then we're definitely on Blood Wolf. Yeah, okay, so that's what it's going to be. Point of damage there. 2 points here. But yeah, so let's wrap this up. Shadowverse, it was good. I liked it. It was nice to have a long, drawn-out campaign that really got a lot better as it went along, that had a coherent story, and that put me in a position when I was done where I really felt like I was able to compete at the level I wanted to on the ladder. And I felt like I had places to go. Angel, yeah. I would recommend it to anybody who doesn't get immediately turned off by the art style, although I would understand if you did. And if you are interested in kind of playing through it, I would have a series of, maybe not tips, but like things I wish I'd known when I started playing. So ask me about that. Other than that, not much to say. We'll just finish this game out here. Opponent just kind of grinding away, trying to keep me down, but I'm just going to have too much for them to deal with here. In this case, we're going to go Ambling Wraith, Goblin, Vania. End the turn. They need to kill Vania. If they don't, then I will evolve her next turn, and she's going to represent just so much damage. I probably should have evolved my Goblin that turn, if I'm being 100% honest. I don't think it's going to matter much, but we'll see. All right. So opponent does evolve their guy. Do they attack Vania? Yeah, they do. That's all well and good. Okay, what do we have here? I think we probably just have 2 Snarling Chains to kill their thing, and then a bunch of attacks. So Snarling Chains, 3 damage. Snarling Chains, 3 damage. Evolve my guy. Attack. 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 With the 3 damage I have in hand, any one of these creatures is lethal next turn. So my opponent has to kill all of them, or put out something with ward. Or gain some life. But if they're gaining life and not defending themselves, it may not matter either. Alright, they're tanking pretty hard over there. A little unfortunate that we didn't get to see the results of the vampire part of this deck, because I think that's the most interesting aspect of it. But the aggro portion is pretty convincing on its own. Opponent's probably going to kill my goblin here. Then it's just an evolve, hit, play the spell, win. There we go. Evolve. Hit. Spell. Win. Cool. So with that, I'll happily wrap this up. I think the point's been made. I think this is it for Shadowverse for me. I mean, I may pick the game up later, especially if other people get involved and grind out with this deck a little bit. And maybe build something for the rotation format. But for now, I'm happy to move on. Thanks for watching. Bye.